You know why I love it so damn much? You have a bowl game on at 11 o'clock in the morning. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl is on right now. Right the freak now. I mean, how awesome is that? That you have a bowl game on right now. And SMU's up 14-10. They're playing in the rain. They said the rain dissipated, but that the wind is picked up. And after this, we have the Pinstripe Bowl, which I said they could have 35 to 40,000 people, which I tried to get company at Jace to go to, and I got no takers. Good afternoon there, Josh. Yes, everybody blew my ass off. So I'll watch the game at home. I might have to go to Apple. I think I'm gonna go to Apple and get after the podcast and get some of the stuff that I have to get done. Yeah. How about UNC? I got to start with UNC. They got a touchdown at the end of the first half to cut the lead to 14-10, and it looked like a push-off. And I don't blame, I really don't blame Connor Harrell. So, Connor Harrell he had an okay day. Have a great, where'd he go? 18 for 27, a $199, touchdown, 2 interceptions. Hampton ran for 62. They didn't really do anything. The thing was, who was like a gnat? Garrett Green. Garrett Green threw for 228 and a touchdown and had 75 on the ground. And they got, when I turned the TV and my cousin Teddy texts me, he goes, good defense here. They got a touchdown. Good afternoon there, Rob. And so it was 7-0. They got a second touchdown on special teams. The second half, they got outscored and they finished 8-5. They started 6-0. They finished the season 2-5. And Mac Brown says, we don't want to hang around 8 or 9 wins. We needed to get there, and now we've gotten there. We've got to get over that hump to get more. You had Sam Howell. You had Drake May, and you didn't do shit. Okay, you went to one ACC championship game, big shit. You have done nothing with 2 quarterbacks that Rutgers or any school would kill for as quarterbacks. You had 2 in a row. Now, Sam Howell, it was benched, and now, they're interested in Caleb Williams going forward. If they lose the last 2 games, the Commanders to the Niners and Cowboys at home, they'll be guaranteed 90% shot of getting a top 3. So they'll go after Caleb Williams, who to me scares the shit out of me. I was talking to Ernie yesterday. I like calling him Ernie. That's what his buddy called him. And, I'm not sold on him. And he was on the sidelines yesterday because Miller Morris, right? That was his name, Miller Morris. 6 touchdowns yesterday for USC. Now, Louisville came in pissed off. They lost to Florida State in the ACC championship game. And they lost to Kentucky. So they ended on a schneid at the end of the season, which is what UNC did, lost their last 3 games. I mean, and I hear this Mac Brown talking about we have to get over that hump. What hump, dude? Dude, you can't beat teams. You start 6-0 when you finish the season 8-5, and you're happy about the season? Dude, that's a terrible end to the season. Okay, you beat Duke. You lost to Georgia Tech. And you lost to Virginia, 2 teams. Now, Georgia Tech ended up going to a bowl game, but 2 games you should have won and been at a better bowl game. You had Drake May, and you just wasted Drake May. You just wasted him. I mean, nothing got accomplished. And, every goddamn year, it's the same crap. We're getting over what hump are you getting over, man? You know what? You're an old man. You won a lot of games. You won a championship at Texas. You've made a shitload of money in football. It's time to pass the reins. And I just don't think they're going to ever win anything. Look, Elko was at Duke, got him a job at Texas A&M, which lost their quarterback on the first play of the game. They finished 7-6. That's a shitty year. They lost to Oklahoma State yesterday at the site of the college football playoff championship game, NRG in Houston, where hopefully Hal will be going to the game, and hopefully Monday night Michigan can win, because if not, it's going to be, I really want to watch the second game too. And I don't want to sit there with my headphones on my iPad because Michigan's in a really shitty mood because they lost to Bama, which could happen. And someone in Michigan Beats put up a picture. It was from Disneyland, so it was Harbaugh, Mickey Mouse in the middle, and Saban, and they put a picture with Harbaugh, Ryan Day, that's what they called. I love that, and Saban. Yeah, Ryan Day, you just have to always do that dig. And I still don't know if Marvin Harris is playing a game. I saw this. I said that I put up a description for the show, and I put something up for Sam, who is a huge Florida State fan. The players of Florida State feel if they win their game and finishes the only undefeated Power 5 team, which means that Michigan and Washington have to lose their games respectively to Bama and Washington in the college football playoff semifinals, they should be the national champion. I'm like, hey, if you're the only undefeated team, if you beat Georgia with a freshman quarterback and missing guys on offense and defense, your leading receiver, your leading rusher, your leading defensive, one of your leading defensive lineman all to the NFL draft, plus others, then I would say yes, you should get a shot at it. Even though you're not playing in the college football playoffs, you should get some recognition, which you won't. But maybe you should get your own flag put up like, the in-season tournament Lakers got. You can get your own flag put up down in Tallahassee, a flag up as UCF did that. They crowned themselves the national champions when they finished undefeated and didn't get a shot to play in the college football playoffs. So why not? Why not? Hey, stranger things have happened. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, UNC sucks. Just sucks. Now, Giants, yeah, we got a lot of yesterday was crazy. But today's even crazier. So much information in this head of mine of JD. JD Talking Sports. Drop the G on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok. Subscribe to iTunes. Subscribe to my YouTube page, please. Please, I'd love more people. I'm on YouTube right now, which Josh loves because he can do other stuff and also watch the show. Where with IG, he's stuck on IG. And I apologize for that, dude. I apologize. So I try to be everywhere. Now, I think Rob's at work, so Rob is ishing, got the ants in the pants, but I don't think he can come on today. And I decided to do it a little earlier because, I was up. Michigan left, had to go work in Jersey today. So I was going to go back to sleep. And I said, what, let's just get going. I had to do a little cooking today. Made the meatballs, made some cutlets. So right now I have nothing to eat in the house. We had some, she works in an office and I thought she'd get more cookies over the holidays. She didn't get jack shit. She got 2 bags of cookies, which are gone. And you know what? I'll tell you, the supermarket has a Toll House cookie cake, which looked phenomenal. So I'm thinking, do I go over there and get a Toll House cookie cake, just sit on the couch? Because I was watching Seinfeld last night, and they had the episode where Susan died, so George is living, he's free, and Susan's parents come in, and he's in a bathing suit with a chunk of cheese in his hand. Now, I don't think I do the chunk of cheese, but I could definitely see myself in my underwear shirtless, eating. What would I be eating? I might be eating some chips, pecan pie, maybe doing that, maybe a pizza. I don't know if I'd be sitting there with a chunk of cheese. I think there'd be something I'd rather have than a chunk of cheese. But I watched that episode. I was laughing my ass off. I also saw the new Zach Miller movie. I already forget, what's it? Rebel Moon, first part. I'll tell you, I expected nothing, and I really liked it. You know what? It's a 2-parter, but it went by fast. A lot of action, a lot of violence. Oh God, guy for SMU was wide open in the end zone, and all these guys are wearing gloves. The gloves aren't helping. These guys are dropping pass after pass after pass. And this guy Jennings in his second career start for SMU. And it's interesting. They're going to play next year because they'll both be in the ACC at SMU. Got to make that catch, man. Take off the gloves. The gloves aren't doing anything. You got to make that catch. Got to make that catch. I'm sorry. The gloves aren't, and they all have gloves on. There's something to be said about having bare hands. If the quarterback's wearing bare hands, the receiver should be wearing bare hands because all these guys are dropping every goddamn ball. And I love this game's on grass. The next game's on grass. Then we have the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which I just want to watch the end because I want to see the big Pop-Tarts edible trophy. Then at night, so that's two ranked teams. The first, as Rob told me, as Rob expertly told us, because Rob's always right, as the T-shirts will be made, and to say that Rob is always right. But then we have the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Then we have the Jets versus the Browns in the Joe Flacco revenge game, which on Prime. And then at night, you have Arizona versus Oklahoma in the Alamo Bowl, which is always a good bowl game. So I can watch football basically from 11 a.m. until basically 1 o'clock in the morning, which to me is heaven. And you got more games on tomorrow. You got football. Saturday night, you got host Dallas, which Jimmy Johnson's going in the ring. And Dan Campbell says, I don't care about that. He goes, he was a Cowboy. He loves the Cowboys. He loved the experience he's had there. He's all about Jimmy Johnson. He said, and it'd be even better, I guess, if they could win in Dallas, which I think they have a shot to. That's a big test for them because I think that if they can win that game, that helps them going into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to get above the 3rd seed, but knowing that they have, momentum going to the playoffs and then probably going to meet the Rams in the first round has to help them going forward. And then I guess they would play at the Eagles if things work out right. It'd be one's the bye, so it'd be 2, 7, 3, 6. Yeah, then it would work out that one would play the worst, and then 2, and then then it would go 1, 4, 2, 3. Right. So I guess we'll see what happens on that front. But they're kind of interesting, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, so the Giants going to start Tyrod Taylor, which I actually sent him a direct he put up stories on Instagram saying he's always ready. Sent him a long thing, which I don't think he would talk to me because he would look and see I had the fried cutlets pick up. But I said, you're a professional. You always come to play. Doesn't matter, injury, whatever. You're always ready to play. You just prepare and do your job every goddamn day. I said, love to have you on a podcast. I love your like work ethic and everything. He didn't respond. But hey, you know what? You put it out there. Maybe he's focusing on games right now, but maybe you'll see it in a couple weeks and be like, hey, let's come on a JD Talking Sports. Let's make it happen. Yeah. And I said, okay, maybe that'll happen in the future. Evan Neal will miss the final 8 games. He only played 7 games this year. Will miss 9 total. They're thinking ankle surgery is down the line for a very disappointing season for him. DeVito next year is going to make $915,000. I guess he'll still live at home next season, which, hey. So no Zach Wilson today. I haven't seen about Amari Cooper. That's what I was looking to see. Amari Cooper. What? I did not look it up, but I was like, I realized, is Amari Cooper playing today? Guys, do you know if Amari Cooper's coming off that 265-yard receiving day? Amari Cooper. Let's see if he's playing. Injury updates 2 hours ago. So what does this mean? What is this? It's an update, but it's not USA Today. What's going on? So 2 hours ago, is he playing? Browns is I guess it's going to be a game time decision. Amari Cooper will be unclear with a heel injury. Okay. Yeah, he has 1,250 receiving yards coming off 265 yards. They're trying to get their first playoff berth since 2020 with a win. Yeah, well, I said, it's Jets will win tonight, 21-20. That's what's going to happen tonight. So no Zach Wilson, no tight end. Jeremy Ruckert is out too. Sale expects staff to be back. How do you expect the staff to be back after a season like that? Josh, how do you expect the staff to be back? How do you expect the staff to be back after a season like that? I mean, honestly, how? I don't know. It perplexes the hell out of me. I can't see how they played this poorly and that they should come back. Now, did you see this? This is the wild thing. Why did nothing come? What's going on here? Yeah, Dan Orlovsky said Russ is known for 2 months that Denver was moving on from him, and they asked him to alter his contract while also asking him to lead, try, and win games. It seems to be over. That this is from The Athletic, that there was preparing to move on from him almost 2 months ago. They reportedly reached out to Wilson's representative following the team's win on October 29th to tell the quarterback that he would lose his role as a starter and that he would be made inactive for the rest of the year if he didn't defer an injury guarantee trigger date he has for 2025. The $37 million injury guarantee for 2025 kicks in this coming March if Wilson is hurt and cannot pass a physical. So no changes were ever made, so they sat him. 3,070 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions this season. An improvement over last year. 2 years, 30 games, over 6,500, almost 6,600 yards, 42 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. Why should he take something out of his contract? That's what they're always. And you gave him all this money, but you gave him almost $124 million in the last 2 years. And now your guys are bitching and moaning over a $37 million injury settlement. And then he tried to, coach tried to, Sean Payton tried to say we needed a spark. And I'll tell you, I'm on Russell Wilson's side, man. It is a tough game. You get every goddamn dollar you can get out of this game because this game beats the living shit out of you. So I'm fine with it. You know what? If these guys, and you're in a playoff race. You're in a goddamn playoff race, and you think Jarrett Stidham, all of a sudden, who sat all season, is going to come in and spark the team when you've had Russell Wilson? Hey, you guys played a bad game. You came back, and the defense couldn't hold him at the end, and you had a bad loss to the Patriots. Happens all the time. You're not that good a team. You know what? You're really not a playoff team, but with this, expanded and so much parity, there's a chance you get in. And then once you get in, things fall your way. You never know. Now, I don't think it's going to be the Broncos, but that could happen. But this kind of like, all the money they paid. You pay all this money. What's he getting? $20 million a year Sean Payton from the Broncos? All that Walmart money. And they're going to bitch over $37 million for your quarterback. The guy's supposed to lead your team. And I know, he's not a lovable guy. Seattle players said they never knew him. He's always about him, his image and everything. But in this case, you know what? I got his back. You know, it's easy. It's not the team they put together preseason period. Injuries destroyed what the team was supposed to be. What's easy? Oh, you're talking about the Jets. It's easy to get rid of the team. Yeah, I see. I caught that at the end. I was going on my Broncos rant. Yeah, well, I don't think you bring back the staff for the Jets, Josh. You don't bring any of those guys back. None of them. I think Hackett's got to go. Well, the defensive coordinator, what? The defensive coordinator, I'm okay keeping, but offense, I think they can change everybody. And you know what? Eric Bieniemy. I saw this thing from J.P. Finley, which Bieniemy said, which is I thought was very apropos. Let me see. Do I have it here? No. Let me see. NFL. Yeah, that it is a. I thought this was very. Well, I actually think this is because Parcells talked about this. It's easy to run it back. I don't know what you're talking. What do you mean? You're talking about the Jets? It's easy to run it back with the Jets. See, I need him on the show. That's what I need. Come on, say your piece and leave. Got to write more detail, dude. I need more details. You know what? Maybe even just text me what you're saying because I don't know. Are you talking about the Jets? I'm a little lost right here because I got so many things going on in my brain right now. So Eric Bieniemy says we're in a profession that it's a production-driven industry, which of course it is. Whatever makes the best quarterback in Jets history happy. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, the best quarterback who has played 4 snaps. Yeah, so you're being facetious. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so you're being sarcastic. Thank you. That's what I thought you were being sarcastic. Well, but you know what? But did you hear what he said? He did not want to be put on the active roster. He didn't want that fullback to lose his job. And they said, well, he said, I can do all my work on the sidelines. They activate him. And he said, I don't need to be activated. I'm not going to play. Don't activate me. Does he? Is it him? Or is it Johnson has Google eyes for Douglas and Saleh? So I don't know if he's running the ship anymore. Well, if Hackett's staying, then I guess he is because I can't believe Saleh is saying that Hackett gives us the best chance to win next season. I'm sorry. There is nothing he did this season that warrants him coming back next season. Nothing at all. No, hell no. Hell to the no. Yeah, so Wilson's passed. Wilson's benched. Yeah, I've talked about that. Yeah, and he also leads the team in rushing first downs with 38. Dan Daly called him Sean Payton an offensive genius, and Geno Smith said free 3, which I thought was kind of funny. Well, they had a relationship. He was the backup for 4 or 5 years for Russell Wilson in Seattle. I guess we're going to see. I guess, so Mahomes, listen to this. Mahomes' drop rate of 6.9% is 13th highest in football, but also he's thrown the most passes of any quarterback, 568, entering week 17. So you take that into account, but also all you have is Kelsey and Rice. Who else does he have as options? It's Kelsey and Rice and nobody else. So who does he count on in the clutch besides Kelsey and Rice? So when you think about the number, they said they have the most drop passes from the receivers, 26. Well, he's also thrown the most passes. So when you take that into account, the volume of passes, there's going to be drop passes. And I feel like it's not only him. There are guys dropping passes all over. I mean, I know the conditions and everything, but it's happening all over football. Yeah, and Washington, of course, is interested in Cal. Of course they are. And they had the Hall of Fame nominees are up, which is cool. And, I really feel like a lot of these guys are very deserving, to say the least. I mean, Eric Allen was a beast. He's been a finalist once. This is the first time. Jared Allen, over 100 sacks. Will Anderson, Cincinnati, Baltimore. This is the third time as finalists. Jari Evans, guard for Saints. Dwight Freeney. Antonio Gates played college basketball. Didn't play 1 ounce of football. Came into the goddamn pros and had 116 touchdown catches. I mean, his numbers were astronomical. Rodney Harrison, thought he was okay. I thought he was very good. Is he Hall of Fame? Devin Hester. When you think of a return man, best ever. Like when I think of kickers, Ray Guy. When I think of return man, Hester got to get in. Hester is the best. Torrey Holt was on the with that team, the fastest team on turf. Andre Johnson. I think Torrey Holt more than Andre Johnson. If I needed a big catch, Torrey Holt always made it. Julius Peppers is the only NFL player with over 150 sacks and 10 plus interceptions. And, he got his name. His name was Julius Frazier Peppers. His father's favorite basketball players were Julius Erving and Walt Frazier. That's what his son's name was. Crazy, right? Fred Taylor just put up, just was consistent. Reggie Wayne also, he had a hell of a career. Patrick Willis' career was cut short, but he was a tackling machine. And Darren Woodson, Darren Woodson, Dave Campos said he could line up and cover man-to-man with his speed and was smart enough because of his safety work to understand zones. You don't see that combination very often. He can handle anyone inside. There's nobody he really had a problem with. That is a hell of a list, guys. That is a hell of a list. Those are some really good players. There's some kid freezing his ass off. You think that dad would be like, kid, let's go home. Maybe kid's like shivering, like time to go home. So I saw that. I was like, wow. Yeah, so Julius Peppers, the only player to appear in a Final Four in the Super Bowl. He was there when I was at UNC, but he didn't play till after I left. And they said if he would have, when he was playing football, the Bobcats, that's where the Bobcats back then, were going to bring him in. They were going to try to see if he wanted to, play basketball in the offseason. And there were teammates of him said that he never even warmed up. He just came and did stuff that the guy said they had to take like an hour to warm up. And he just did things. There was a play, he got chop blocked, did a complete flip, got up, caught the ball, and ran it back 97 yards for an interception return. And they were mesmerized by him. They said the athleticism. He played basketball. He wasn't a bench guy. He was like sixth man on a number one team in the country in UNC. That's how good he was. That's how good an athlete he was. And Gross was the offensive lineman for the Panthers. He said the first time we went against each other, he knocked him on not his ass, on his back. And after that, he never did again. But he said the first time, this guy's the 8th pick in the draft, and Peppers went the year before, and they were concerned, some people within the Panthers organization, that he didn't have enough of a motor. But untrue. Peppers was legit. And he wasn't a guy wasn't showboating anything, didn't do endorsements. They said he was in a Nelly video in 2002, but not that kind of guy, just a really good guy, wanted to play football and just, didn't showboat anything, just did his job, went back. And, the speed he had, everything, the strength, like 0% body fat. Guy was a Greek god. And they said the nicest guy. And that's all I've heard about him. Yeah, it was just pretty cool. And John Fox said something. He said the best pass defense in the world is a pass rush, which I always say, you got to protect the quarterback and get to the quarterback. And, because they wanted Quentin Jammer, who had a really good career, got drafted later by the Chargers in that draft. And he says, listen, you have to get to the quarterback. Got to have a pass rush. And he was that guy. He was phenomenal. It was really cool to read that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and Russell Wilson said, God's got me. Looking forward to what's next. Yeah, I'm not crying for you, dude. Whatever. And I understand, whatever's happening. But there are so many teams that need a quarterback. Someone's going to pick you up. Now, you're not the same quarterback you were, but you put up a good season. You had pretty good stats. Bumble sent me... He talked about that Mahomes is a crybaby, which I agree. I feel like, especially this year, he's really crying. And after watching him in the Netflix special where he says, yes, sir, so much to the point where you're like, dude, enough already with the yes, sir. So Wilson's 7-8. Mahomes is 9-6. Russell, 3,070 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 98 passer rating. Mahomes, 39-38, 26 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 91.7. But if you had to tell me that, okay, we're going to get rid of Patrick Mahomes, teams would be racing to get to him to have user quarterback. I still would take Mahomes over, even at his best, Russell Wilson. I would still take Mahomes every day of the week, every single day of the week. Not even up for discussion. Hey, you know what? And they said the line, he's having to run out of the pocket more. He doesn't have guys he can throw the ball to. The running game isn't that great. They're just not having a good season. I still wouldn't want to face them in the playoffs. Because, anything's possible in the playoffs. What could happen? We'll see what happens, but we shall see on that front. Yeah, time will tell on that front. So Josh Jabot put this up that George Kittle needs 7 yards to join CMC, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel as the fourth player to have over 1,000 yards, 1,000+ yards. Now they can this is combined. This is everything. This is rushing, receiving, whatever. They would join. There are 5 other teams that had teams with 4 1,000-yard plus players on their team. So I looked it up. because Joshua always has this trivia, all these stats. 2020 Panthers with Matt Rule went 5-11. The 2004 Colts 12-4. They finished that season, lost 20-3 to the Pats in the divisional round. 95 Falcons 9-7, lost to the wild card 37-20 to Green Bay. 1990 Oilers 9-7, lost to the wild card 41-14 to Cincy. And the 1989 Washington Redskins finished 10-6 and didn't even make the playoffs. Who gives a shit? I love these stats and then you look them up. You're like, great, 4 1,000-yard guys plus on their roster, which means they have a lot of talent. With these other teams, it didn't translate to them having success in the playoffs. Not even close. So that's why I look this stuff up, and I'm always like, hey, you know what? Let's take it down a notch. Let's slow our roll in this front. Yeah. So J.P. Finley said that Sam Howell, 19 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, most in the league, 63%. He said he blames 40%. He blames Riverboat Ron. 30% he blames Bieniemy. 20% he blames Sam Howell. You know, it is coaching. And that, you know, and Sam Howell says he should be a star. He could be a starter in this league. 60 sacks this season also. Last 5 games, 285 passing yards in losses to Miami, Rams, Jets. He was 6-22 for 56 yards. A 1.7 QBR was the lowest this season. He was benched, but 285 yards passing total in 3 losses. Listen, I mean, he started off, he was the leading passer. He didn't have the guys. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, it sucks. But Mahomes, Sam Howell, you know, he's also, and you know what? So you yank the rug out of these guys, and now you say Brissett, who's getting, you know, $8 million for the year, gives you the best chance to win. Maybe the locker room's pissed off that they're losing games, whatever. But you know, they keep yanking these quarterbacks. You bring one guy in, and Jacoby Brissett's not a guy you're going to have play a whole season anymore. He's a guy you come in, you let him play a game here and two, but none of these guys are putting up games, you know, putting up consistent games where you're like, this is the answer. You got Trevor Siemian starting tonight against Flacco. Flacco at least was a starter. And, you know, I mean, they're a better team. Cleveland's got a better defense. Jets, I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like in Cleveland tonight, but we'll see going forward. But, yeah, a lot of football to watch. Hey, Ernesto has joined us today. Yes. What's up, Ernie? Yeah. So, the KC's tied with Washington with the -10 turnover differential. You know, not that KC has 6 losses this season, double last year. Most losses since 2017 when they lost the wild card to the Titans. They're 1-3 of the last 4. Antonio Pierce says, my resume on the grass, wants the full-time job. Hey, 4-3. They got at the Colts, host the Broncos. Win next 2 games. They need a lot of help, but maybe they can get to the playoffs. I mean, we're going to see what happens on that front. I saw San Francisco signs defensive tackle Sebastian Joseph Dato, a 1-year deal released by the Chargers. And the Texans claim Kareem Jackson, who was a 2010 first-round pick, actually number 20 at Alabama by the Texans in 2010. But, you know, the guy can't tackle right. So, I mean, I guess we're going to see how that works out going forward. Cleveland is a playoff threat with Flacco. That's what Ernie feels like. Ernesto feels like. Okay, we shall see. We shall see if they are. They got the defense. Did Rob say to me? I think Rob said to me, "What if Cleveland goes to Super Bowl? If they get the, like, you know, the thing is that, well, if they win, yeah, big. I don't think the Ravens are going to lose to the Dolphins this Sunday at home, and I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but you know, in the elements, I'm kind of curious, and I think, you know, everybody thinks they'll have a drop off after that big game they had against San Fran, but I think they're too well coached, and Lamar Jackson knows if they win, they get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. I think that's big. Get that first round, get some rest, get everybody a week to rest, and, you know, heal up and everything. That's big. Hey, we'll see. Yeah, that will be true. Ravens 54 sacks, 26 takeaways, both number 1 in the NFL. Yeah, they have. Well, that's the thing. If Cooper's hurt, we're going to see how it works with if Cooper hurt. But yeah, and they think about that. They lost their number 1 running back. To think about that, imagine they had their running back. If he hadn't blown out, and what's the name escaping me? I see his face. If he blew out his knee, imagine that. Think about all that, and it actually worked out better. I mean, Deshaun Watson, is he going to stay with? You know, I didn't see anything. He's not the quarterback he was a couple of years ago. I didn't see any flashes anymore of him. He's been terrible. Yeah, they lost Chubb. Yeah. Hunter Ford, yeah, 1-2 punch, yeah. But it's really the passing game. They're really, and that defense is all about getting takeaways. And you got Myles Garrett. Yeah. And I mean, hey, listen. I mean, Flacco came in off the couch and just is slinging it. Same recipe, different. Well, Chubb's the real deal though. I mean, losing Chubb was big. Chubb was amazing. Was a hell of a running back. And TJ Hawkinson, hey, what's up there? Hey, Danny, how you doing? Afternoon there. Afternoon. TJ Hawkinson torn ACL and MCL. He had signed a $68.5 million extension, 42.5 guaranteed money, which was crazy, and 95 catches for 965 touchdowns. They're hoping he can be back for the beginning of next season, which would be that'd be crazy. Yeah. And yeah, I saw some of the playoff seedings. Go Pack, go. Yeah, sure. Niners, Eagles, Lions, Bucks win the division with a win over New Orleans or Carolina. Cowboys 5. Rams have an 87% chance of winning division, the NFC West. The wild card with a win over the Giants. And the Seahawks, 89% if they beat Arizona. We'll see if that happens. Yeah. And what did I see with Richard Sherman and Joshua? We're talking about, Joshua's all about the Bills, making MVP case for Josh Allen. Keyshawn walked off in his midriff. Listen, finish the goddamn season. And you know what? Who cares about I don't feel like the MVP means as much to me. To me, it means, you know what? Great. You win the MVP. Aaron Rodgers won the MVP every goddamn season. Did he get any championships out of it? No. So great. He won the MVP, had the fantastic season. At the end, I know Ernesto would rather them having a ring around his finger than having the goddamn MVP. Like, who's the head of it? Who gives a shit? I don't care about that stuff. I'm like, you know what? I love what Brady said. Brady's like, I don't care about ring. I don't care about Pro Bowls. I don't care about any of that shit. I want to win. Winning, that's your brand. Your brand is winning. Great. All that stuff. Yeah. I agree. Ernesto, he said they got to stop force-feeding quarterbacks the MVP. If it's not Hill, Hill to me has had a phenomenal. CMC has had a phenomenal season. Who else am I thinking about this year? Yeah, I feel like especially Hill. Hill has had, and I know he got injured, but the season he's put up is amazing. I mean, if he had stayed healthy, he would have got 1,600 yards. Yeah, he would have got 2,000 yards. He would have passed. He would have broke the record. Now it would have been 17 games, but I think if he'd stayed healthy, there was a shot he would have done it in 16 or less. Yeah, he would have done it right there. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. So, but we shall see. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, AC joint and shoulder, day-to-day. They signed Matt Barkley off the Giants practice squad. And Jalen Hurts, 39 yards on all 15 rushing touchdowns. That's 2.6 yards per TD. But Cam Newton, it was okay with it. He said, that's the game. He set the record. That's what the play called for. It's 15 touchdowns and 15 touchdowns. Yeah. And that's another thing. Joe Flacco, plus 400, second best odds to win NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Thank you, Ben Fawkes, for this. 1,307 yards, 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 85.1 rating, 4 games, 3 of the 4 300-plus passing yards. And he's had 300-plus passing yards in 3 straight games going into the Jets. And, Jets have a defense, but you got Trevor Siemian. So I said 21-20 Jets, but I wonder, Ernesto, I wonder what parlay he has going today. I don't know if he does the college football parlay, but, yeah, I'm watching BC, SMU. I'll tell you, BC's going to win this goddamn game, it looks like right now. And Kevin O'Connell is evaluating who to play quarterback this week between Nick Mullins, Josh Dobbs, and Jaron Hall. Mullins, a lot of interceptions. Yeah, he's been, you got him, you got Hall, you got Dobbs. If they can't hold on the ball, what does it matter? What does it matter, right? If they can't hold on the ball, what does it matter? That's the thing. If he can't hold on the ball, it really doesn't. You can't have turnovers. You just can't. And Mullins had a lot last week. They should have beaten Cincinnati. So hold that. And Dobbs was really bad the last couple games. And Mike Renner said, Brandon Ayuk, 12.9 yards per target, second highest figure for a 1,000-yard receiver since they started tracking targets in 1999. Yeah, Ayuk has been solid. Ooh, getting a little chippy. It got a little chippy before the Rutgers Miami game where they had to separate, but it looked like coaches that were fighting with. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. And Chris Towers said that Niners have 3 players with 80-plus targets and 10-plus yards per target. Only team with more than 2. Only 8 with 2. You got Brandon Ayuk with 93 targets. Kittle with 86. Debo with, Kittle, all over 80. And then CMC has 78. So they'll at that too, which is kind of crazy, right? But again, as I said, all over 1,000 yards, it has not translated to Super Bowl championships in the past. We'll see. Play whoever, pack by 7. Okay. All right. Well, all right. Yeah, good. Yeah, talked about Jair Alexander with so Carrington Valentine is your guy, Ernesto, this week. Yeah, and we'll see what happens there. So Raiders are at the Colts, host the Broncos. KC hosts the Bengals at the Chargers. And the Broncos, I had the Broncos schedule here. Did I have the Broncos schedule? Yeah, I know this. So they finish with the Raiders. Broncos. Let me see Broncos schedule. I forget who the Broncos play this week. Broncos. They finish with the Raiders. They play at the host of Chargers. So all these teams have games they can win. It's going to be interesting what happens for the rest, going the rest of the way. That's the interesting part going forward. We're going to see what happens. Yeah, that's the thing. We shall see. Yeah, I still can't get over it. I mean, Ernesto, the whole thing with the injury settlement of 2025, that's why they benched him, basically. Yeah, I guess we're going to see what happens there. Bills activate Khair Alam, who was a 23rd pick in the 2022 draft. He really hasn't done anything this season. Only played 3 games. And Miami-Dallas game, $31.58 million. $5.18 million. It was the season's most watched game of a non-Thanksgiving. I mean, they had huge ratings. So NFL just keeps putting out this stuff and just going, hey, we're making a lot of money. A lot of shekels. A lot of shekels on that front. Jalen Waddle, to be determined if he'll play against Baltimore on Sunday. That should be the Sunday night game. No offense, not Green Bay, Minnesota. That's not the Sunday night game. That should be the Sunday night game. And Brock Purdy said 400-session game, not fair to his teammates. Yep, it's not fair. I'm not fair. It's not fair to my teammates. I got to be better to my teammates. Yeah, I love Texas A&M losing. Caleb Williams after the game with Miller Morris said, "Fuck yeah" to him. Good for you. They had lost 3 straight bowl games, so they won a bowl game. Congrats to them. USC. He should have had 7, Morris, but he threw an interception in the end zone that the guy returned it for Louisville, kept changing direction when I felt if he would have just went straight, he would have goddamn scored, but it didn't happen. And that's what happens. And Isaac Garendo had 203 total yards and 3 touchdowns for Louisville. But the quarterback had a broken thumb that he said, Jake Plummer, that said he wasn't affecting his throwing motion. Sure as hell looked like something was affecting him. So they lost 42-28, and USC ended 8 straight games of giving up 30-plus points. So that's good. 8-5 for a very, very lackluster season. And, 3-game losing streak over. Congrats to them. Yeah, that was good stuff. Yes. Caleb Williams, I'm so happy for you too. And Darius Taylor returned to his hometown of Detroit in the Quick Lane Bowl. Minnesota won. They're 6-7, and he had a big rushing game for them. Georgia lands Trevor Etienne from Florida, who wasn't happy. So congrats to him. Ja Milton is out. He is not playing in the Citrus Bowl for Tennessee. So you're going to see Nico Iamaleava, was this 5-star recruit they brought in who supposedly got like $8 million from NIL money, and he's going to play. So Milton, who Kuiper has as his 10th best quarterback, finishes with 113 yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. But I'll be honest with you, I think Milton has a great arm. I thought he looked better last year when they beat Clemson in the bowl game than he did this year. So I'm not 100% sold on him. I mean, another guy with a cannon arm. I just don't know if it's good enough for the NFL. I mean, and that's another thing. Tennessee went from a great season last year to, shit in the bed this year. Was Washington 10-1 in games decided by a touchdown or less the last 2 years, and 9-0 versus teams in the top 25. Kirby Smart going into the Orange Bowl against Florida State, 8-2 in bowl games, won his last 6. And there was something on ESPN today that Kirby Smart intercepted Peyton Manning in a bowl game, in an SEC game. I thought that was kind of funny. Carson Steele from UCLA, who went transfer from Ball State, he's going pro. Yeah, 847 yards, 6 touchdowns. I don't know. I'm like, okay. I'm not really like USF. South Florida's getting a new football stadium. Remember, I talked to Mr. Met. He said when they went the City Field, they had actually a room for the mascot to shower and everything. Well, USF for the mascot's going to have a 250-foot square training room for the mascot with a shower and toilet. And the football operations center is going to have restrooms, bench seats, and concessions. So I guess you can come and hang out there, which is kind of cool. Thank you, Matt Baker. Yeah, I talked about the most wins the last couple seasons. The Knicks yesterday, R.J. Barrett, 4th straight games with more turnovers, 5, than assists. And Tibbs said he put him in at the end because of the wings. He wanted length with the wings, but they ended up losing yesterday. Yeah, I mean, Chet Holmgren had 22 points, 4 blocks. Randall had 25. R.J. Barrett did not shoot well. 4 assists, 5 turnovers, 14 points. Brunson had 24 points. Quickly had 22 off the bench. OKC is now 29. The Knicks are 17-13. They play at the Magic on Friday. SGA is just a machine. 36, 7 points, 8 assists. Jalen Williams had a career-high 36, 18 points on the seasons he's averaging. But, I mean, these are games, the Knicks, if you want to get to the next level, I know you can't win every game on the road, but these are games you have to win. Hey, at least it wasn't Jock Vaughn talking about yesterday was an exhibition game, and that he said, what'd he say? Any guy could have ended their career tonight by one play because he felt his guys played too many minutes. So he basically let Bridges play the first quarter. He let Cam Thomas, and then it was all like G League guys. And fans are like, what? Do we have a winning attitude here? Are we trying to win games? I was going to ask my buddy about this, and I sent it to him. I said, do you think Jacques Vaughn has, run the course here? I mean, are they trying to win games? I know they don't have the talent they used to have, but you got Bridges, you got Thomas, you got Johnson, you got Nick Claxton, you got Dinwiddie. I mean, Dinwiddie you could trade, but you have some young talent on the team. Why not, you're 15 and 16 now. Are you guys trying to win games? Are you trying not to win games? I don't know. And then the fourth quarter, they gave up. They were playing tight for 3 periods. They got blown out 44-30 in the fourth quarter, and they ended up losing the game. I mean, you had Thomas played 12 minutes. Bridges played 12 minutes, and that was it. Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton didn't play. Royce O'Neal. So you had all these guys. I mean, names I don't know. I mean, these are guys that aren't even getting a lot of minutes. And then now 15 and 16, they play at the Wiz on Friday, at OKC on Sunday. Yeah, and Anthony Puccio said, want to rebuild culture? Winning culture. That's what you should think about. Yet you're okay with throwaway games. What precedent does that set? Yeah, and he said they passed on Udoka, which, the whole thing was happening. With the Udoka, it was, that was coming off the whole thing because he had an affair with a woman that worked for the team. Guys, presidents getting blowjobs in the White House, and he still kept his job. So I don't understand. But, that's a story for another day, I guess. But I just don't feel the Nets. I don't, an exhibition game? What do you mean? And, he said we have some big games coming up. We're going to go on the road for 4 games. God, that's what they're getting paid to play basketball. You need to give guys days off. So you basically throw away a game against the Bucks. Why throw away any game? Why say we're just giving up on this game? So we need our guys to rest. And it's Sean Marks has to be into this too. It's not good optics for the franchise, in my opinion. It's not good optics at all. I'm not a fan of any of this. No, not even close. So what are you going to do? Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm going to ask my boss for a paid day off for a load management day. You should, Rob. You should ask for a paid day off. That's right. Exactly. Nobody else gets days off. We don't okay, you know what? We don't, at any minute you guys could, something happen to you. Yeah, that's bullshit. And I know that Bridges has kept his, he has this games played streak, but, I don't blame him for that. Did he say, I don't want to play? I'm only going to play 12 minutes today? That's your professional athlete. People paying good money to come see, come to the games. And I'm coming to the games to see, you sit on the goddamn bench. Yeah, load management. Yeah. No one I know, in the real world, nobody has load management. There's no such thing. Yeah, it's a facade. Yeah, bullshit. So, well, at least not the Pistons, right? And Brunson, the first guard in NBA history to average 26 plus points and 45 plus in 3-point range in the first 29 games of a season. Thank you, Nick Muse. A stat that no one gives a shit about. What does that mean? Great. First 29 games. I saw that. I was like, is that really something? Great. And I'm not belittling him, but I just feel like that's a bullshit stat. I just think that stat's a bunch of bullshit. And Jared Allen yesterday, 24 points, 23 rebounds, 6 assists. It doesn't appear to me that guys are getting any less hurt these days with load management being a thing. And before they did. Yeah, Rob, you got a good point there. I mean, and also, Rob, supposedly they have the best training, the best, they fly. They don't fly commercial. They fly first class. They stay in the best hotels. They have, nutritionists, all that stuff, and they still get hurt all the time. All the time. And hurt all the time where they miss games. The guy runs to first base. The guy runs down the court. He lands on his and he's out for like 6-8 games. Or he's out. Or as Ben Simmons was only supposed to be out 3 weeks. How long ago did Ben Simmons play a game? I thought he was only supposed to be out for a couple weeks. Let me look up Ben Simmons. Yeah, with his back, Ben Simmons. That's another thing. They said they really could use Ben Simmons out there with his length and everything. I mean, he won't shoot the goddamn ball, but, Ben Simmons opens up layoff. Oh, he opened up about the layoff 2 days ago. Last time he played, he didn't play. When was the last time he played a game? Yeah. Oh, he opened up. Well, when was the last time he even played a game? Then opens up about his frustration because I just thought about that 2 days ago. November 6th. Yeah. Yeah. Though Coach One desires to have been on the team, the Australian player consistently contends with injuries, nerve impingement since on November 6th. Yeah. Because I just want to help our team win and compete. At the end of the day, it's part of sports. Not every game is promised. Injuries happen. Yeah, well, dude, it happens with you all the time. All the time. Yeah, November 6th. He will reevaluate in 2 weeks, which puts his potential return in January 2024. Yeah. Yeah, that's a long time. That's a long, long time. Yeah. So Jared Allen, the first Cavs player to have 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 5 assists in a game. And they won, and the Mavs blew a 20-point lead yesterday, which I was like, man, that's kind of a big lead there. But they got the win, and they improved. Both teams are now 18 and 13. How about Aaron Gordon? Josh, Rob sent me this. 21 stitches. Christmas Day got bit by a dog. They don't say it was his dog. Where the hell was he that this dog attacked him? Who has this dog that's that ferocious? And now he's going to be out for a couple weeks. And that's a vital cog for them. I mean, 21 stitches. That's a lot of stitches, dude. I got attacked by a dog. I got like 3 stitches when in Cayman Islands. They got 3 or 4 stitches, 3 or 4. And the dog was holding on to my freaking forearm. And I had to pull my arm where it had a lock on my arm. I was able to kick it away. And I only got 3 or 4 stitches. I would say this is a lot worse than what I got. A lot worse. And I had cuts on my arm and my leg everywhere. But I would say this is a lot worse, in my opinion. So, what the hell, dude? What kind of dog is that? KD, career high 16 assists, triple-double, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 16 assists. They beat the Rockets last night. Good for KD. So he's happy for one night. And the Suns are now 15 and 15. Going on to nowhere. Going into shit. Scotty Barnes, 23rd career 20-point double-double, tying Fred VanVleet of the Raptors for 8th most. Guy can play, man. But they are 12 and 18. They beat the Wiz, who are 5 and 14. John Morant got the player of the week with Joel Embiid. Congrats to him. I talked about Andre Drummond, who, goddamn, man, he has 45 2020 games. The second most active is Kevin Love with 16, Cat with 12, Jokic and Clint Capella with 11, Embiid and Sabonis with 7, AD has 10, and Giannis and Gobert have 8. Oh, and I thought this was great from Felix Ortiz from Company of Jace. And I told him about this the other day. This is a great take. Nate Robinson says that Brandon Roy would be like LeBron and Kobe status if not for injuries. He only played 3 to 26 games. He was Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-NBA, 2006-07 All-Rookie, 3-time All-Star, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 seasons. but the knee problems. Yeah, I think he's coaching now. But yeah, Brandon Roy could ball. He could ball. And it sucks when you hear about this stuff and you're like, damn, man, that sucks. That really sucks. I see that and I'm just like, what is going on here? Can you close? Good God. Yeah. It's amazing how this stuff. Okay, Brandon. I want to see Brandon Roy because I was wondering how. I could have sworn he was coaching somewhere. He is. And former he's an American basketball coach. He serves as head coach of the boys basketball team at Garfield High School in Seattle. Wow. Yeah, he was a hell of a basketball player. Where did he go to college? He played 6 seasons. He tried to make a comeback. That didn't happen. He played college. And Washington, yeah. He was a hell of a basketball player, man. Yeah. Sucks, man. Injuries, yeah, injuries happen. Some guys get good wheels, some guys don't. Grizz 4-0 since Ja took over. Since he came in, yeah, they made a big thing about the shooting guns. 29, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. They're 10-19. They talk about Monty, and yes. Yeah, he is. Yeah, so Rangers won yesterday, 5-1, 8 straight games, first time since 2009, 8 straight games with a power play goal. They are 24-8-1. Panarin, 15th multi-point game, tied for 3rd this season. Keandre Miller had 2 goals and assists, 7 goals in the season, 8 assists. 3rd 3-point game of his career, +3. They are 5-1 their last 6. Igor got his 4th win in a row, 14th on the season. Caps fell to 17-10-5. And Michigan was said, listen, Lafreniere has to get goals when it matters. He got it now. He got his 10th of the season, which he's on track for having his best season ever as a Ranger. But, he said he has to win games when it matters, score goals when it matters. And that's what she worries about him. And I don't disagree on that front. Yeah, power play goal, 8 straight games, 13 of the last 15 with a power play goal, 27 of 33 games this season. And how about this from Statboy Steven? Man games lost this season, 56 for the Rangers. They had 55 all of last season. Think about that, 56. And did you see Luke Hughes last night? Took out the goalie, brought the puck up, went to everybody, hit a slap shot, tied it. They won it. Meyer scored the goal. Timo Meyer scored the winning goal in overtime, and they beat Columbus 4-3. They are now 18-13-2. Columbus fell to 11-8-7. And the Isles lost 7-0. And Chris Letang had 6 assists, 5 in the second period, which is an NHL record for a defenseman. 5, they scored 6 goals in the second period. Their worst loss in 6 years. They lost 7-0 yesterday to the Pens. That is bad. That is no bueno. That's terrible. Yeah, Patrick Kane had a goal. 11 games. I guess the hip is healed. 11 games, including last night. Let me see. Patrick Kane, let's look him up. No, that's not. Yesterday was his 11th game. He had a goal yesterday, but I want to see if he got any more because I forgot about that. That was the other night. Patrick Kane, all he does is score goals. He has 11 games this season. Waiting for it to reboot. 6 goals, 5 assists. I'd say he's playing all right. Patrick Kane. Yeah, versus the Wild yesterday. Sebastian Aho became the 4th player in Hurricane Whalers history to have 500 points with the franchise, with Eric Stahl and Kevin Dineen and Ron Francis. Thank you, NHL PR. On the season, he has 14 goals, 21 assists, 35 points. He had a goal and 3 assists last night in their 5-2 win over Nashville. They're 18-13-4. Nashville fell to 19-16. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? And Guardians right-hand pitcher Cody Morris, 6.75 ERA, 6 relief appearances, 3.41 ERA, 13 career MLB appearances. That's his overall 5 starts. he's going to the Yankees for Florial, who in 4 years with the Yankees, 115 at bats, 209 batting average, and a home run. So Florial is done. We got another pitcher. Is it going to be anybody? I mean, I don't know. I mean, just another name to me. Another name. Will he do anything with it? I'm not 100% sure. Kevin Kiermaier got $10.5 million to return to the Jays. 265, 8 home runs, 36 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, but his fourth Gold Glove. He is great in the outfield. That is a guy. Defense is something. I like Kiermaier. And they signed IKF to 2 years, $50 million, $1 million in incentives. 242 last year, 6 home runs, 37 RBIs. Goodbye. I don't want him on the Yankees. I've had enough of them. Wander Franco, 2 houses that went to see him in the DR. He says he's not guilty of anything with the minor, but sure as shit, they couldn't find him there. And Mikhail Schifrin in Austria today, giant slalom win, 22nd win in the giant slalom, 92nd overall. Both are World Cup records. Mikhail Schifrin just wins. She just wins races. That's all she does. Just wins races. Quiet day today from Company of JC. Everybody's quiet. Everybody's working. Got to make that money, man. I hear you. Guys. Why is this not working today? Why is this all coming in weird? All right, let me see. All right. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Anything else I have to talk? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got some other stuff. Cam Newton talked about Eagles, Jason Avant and A.J. Brown. I don't know if he's frustrated with the city's narrative that Jalen is pressing too hard to get him the ball or what it is, but he had 6 catches for 80 yards. He dropped 2 that would have put him over 100. He had 11 targets, by far leading everybody in targets. Hope it's not that. If anybody has had any opportunity to make a difference, it's AJ. I don't know if it's the routes being called, the play calling, what it is, but 11 targets in a game. I wish I got 11 targets in a game. I would have caught 8, 9 of them a game. Not saying he's not a great player. What I'm ultimately saying, if there's more he can add to the team by uncovering at a higher percentage, making the most of his opportunities and not taking for granted he's getting the ball 10, 11 times. So I guess he's bitching about not getting the ball enough. You know, I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. So, okay. The wide receivers, divas, they're always complaining about something. They're always pissed off about something. They never get the balls enough. Give me the damn ball. Give me the damn ball. Give me the damn ball. Okay. Now, Rob Matty about Antoine Winfield Jr., he said he's having one of the best all-around seasons that no one's really talking about. 110 tackles, 12 pass defense, 7 quarterback hits, 5 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, 5 forced fumbles, 4 recoveries, 3 interceptions. Yeah, I remember he won a Super Bowl when he first came out. He has been a baller, man. He has been a very good player. You know what? Hey, I agree. I feel like some guys always get the recognition every year. It's a name thing, and these are guys, he's going to get paid. Somebody's going to eventually pay him when he finishes his rookie deal, so that will happen. And since week 11, this is from Eric Williams, Seattle's defense allowed a league-high 900 rushing yards and 10 rushing touchdowns. That's a lot. And Breece Hall is close. This is from Michael Nania, he's a big Jets guy. He said, Breece Hall close to setting a single season record for receiving by a running back. 65 receptions, needs 7 to pass Adrian Morrell in 95 when he had 71. Has 537 receiving yards, needs 105 to pass Johnny Johnson in 1993 with 641. Has 3 TDs, needs 2 to pass Matt Snell Matt Snell was in 1996. Yeah, Matt Snell was way before. Matt Snell might have been 66 probably. 66, that's a typo, with 4. Yes. How about that? Remember Johnny Johnson? Adrian Morrell was out of West Virginia. Good player. Johnny Johnson did everything. He did everything. Yeah. Texans got Kareem Jackson back, I said. Mason Rudolph's going to start Sunday at Seattle. I don't know. I'm thinking about, do I keep in Goddard or do I go to I don't trust Pickens. I think he had a great game. I don't think he's going to do it 2 games in a row. I just don't think it's going to happen. And Justin Fields did plenty of damage on the run. He gained plus 34 rushing yards over expected on a 39-yard run, third for the week, and 20-plus on a 24-yard run he had. So he does a lot of rushing yards over expected. It happens. This is from Josh Dubois. Ravens have 5 wins by 14-plus points for teams that are currently in playoff position. Niners, Lions, Browns, Jags, and Seahawks. That would be the most in any season. Current high is 4, done 7 times. What the Patriots did in 2017. And this year's Ravens and the 2000 Patriots led at some point after the 2-point warning in each of their games, but did not lead at the 2-minute warning in every game. Did lead at some, but did not lead at the 2-minute warning in every game. where I had saw that they had been leading at the 2 in the morning every game. That is not true. I get all this crazy shit here. And, they're talking about Tyreek Hill. Listen, first in passing, first in completion percentage, second in passer rating, yards per attempt, second, wins tied for second. He's done good stuff. Listen, we'll see what happens. Raiders have an 85% chance of making the playoffs with 2 wins and losses by the Bengals, Texans, and Panthers. Will that happen? I don't know. But week 17 games, Patriots have to beat the Bills. Jaguars have to beat the Panthers. Titans have to beat the Texans. Seahawks have to beat the Steelers. Chiefs have to beat the Bengals. And all of those happening put the Raiders' playoff chances at 93% with 2 wins. You know how much that's crazy for all that to happen? Patriots, Bills are not going to let that happen. They are not going to let that happen. Hell no. Hell no. I don't think so. And Jordan Zimmerman put this about Flacco. He's number 1 in average completed air yards, 7.8. He's number 2 in average intended air yards, 9.7. He's number 2 in percentage of aggressive throws, number of attempts into tight coverage at 19.4. He is getting it done. And, interesting, Tate Rodmaker is leaving FSU, so that left them with their third-string quarterback. What, Brock Glenn? So next level, these guys, I saw this tweet, and it said the state of P5 athletics is ugly. Tate Rodmaker, redshirt junior, paid his dues at Florida State and performed backing up a Heisman candidate. It was supposed to be his turn. He earned it. But Florida State has made it abundantly clear he's not the guy. They don't want him. They want DJ from Oregon State, or they want Cameron Ward from Washington State. By recruiting veteran portal quarterbacks, Rodmaker is now in the portal. The portal is overflowing, and coaches deserve as much blame as players. Coaches deserve loyalty, but so do players that do everything that is asked them. So he was, hey, we want you for the bowl game, but you're not the guy in the future. So fuck you. I'm going to go. The portal closes January 2nd. You got to strike when the kettle's hot. Yeah. Come on. And it's listen, they had a shitty, you lost your quarterback. You lost your quarterback who was a damn good quarterback. And it sucks. It really sucks. I got to be honest with you. But you know what? Now you have time to prepare for a bowl game. Are you going to sit there and whine about all that crap, or are you going to get up and do something about it? And I don't, that's what teams had. And then the narrative will be if they lose, well, you guys never believed in us anyway. So, but I think that's ridiculous. I think, that Norville's going to get them ready to play. And, they're talking, well, we should be national champion, then beat, having a daddy-daughter day with my oldest at library now, but I'm always listening. Oh, cool, dude. Get some books. Get some books, man. That's good. I like daddy-daughter day. And how about refs? So at bowl games, refs are always walking away with at least a themed watch or something of similar significance. Additional tickets available for officials to purchase at its discretion. Okay. Other officials shall not contact the bowl directly. So game official, replay official, alternate official, and conference coordinator of officials, if in attendance with a bowl gift, they'll get. It's up to discretion of the bowl, but will include a minimum of bowl-specific commemorative watch. If it doesn't have a watch, it should include the bowl logo, and a gift should include the bowl logo and be of similar significance. All right, well, hey, good for them. And Jay Higgins is opting to come back to Iowa. He's just 16 tackles shy of tying the single season record, which was set by Andre Jackson, 171 in 1972. I'm like, all right. He was a first-team All-American by Football Writers Association of America. All right, so, hey, you know what? Good for them. Yeah. And how about this? 10 highest-paid female athletes. Tony Valente, action. All right, Tony Valente, how you doing there, buddy? Tony Valente, what's up? Highest-paid female athletes in 2023. Iga Swiatek, almost $24 million. Eileen Gu, 22.9. Coco Gauff, 21.7. Emma Raducanu with over 15. Osaka, who didn't even play, made 15. Sabalenka made 14.7. Pagula made 12.5. 9 are tennis players. Venus Williams, 12.2. Rybakina, 9.5. And Leylah Fernandez. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Wow. That's a lot of tennis players. That's a lot of tennis players. And, the PWHL, the hockey, Minnesota's announced a new head coach, Ken Klee, who coached Team USA to back-to-back world championships in 2015, 2016. He replaced Charlie Burgraff, who decided to step away from the team. All right. Well, hey, it happens. It happens. See if I missed anything else. Did I miss anything else today? That's what I want to see. Franco, no shows, summons, and oh, yeah. Well, shocked about that one, huh? Yeah, shocked about that one. Yeah. All right. I want to see if I missed anything else. No, let me see. Luka, goal achieved. Da-da-da. Yeah. Luka's out tonight. Ravens, Vikings, rookie Jaron Hall is going to. Good God. Good God, Jaron Hall, dude. Ugh, that's ugly, dude. Oh, Michigan just sent me a picture of how clouded it is. Someone called me. I don't know. Josh Hader wants a big deal. Left-handed pitcher, bigger than Edwin Diaz. Good luck with you. Aaron will check in after work. Yes. Good luck with that. Yeah, you work, dude. Make that money. Make that money. Yeah, Michigan sent me the view outside. She's in Jersey. Yeah, wow. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. And no COVID, thank God. Okay, we feel good. That's all that matters. Okay, good. And I hope, okay, we got trivia questions. Let's get to some trivia questions. All right, last show's trivia question was, let's see if Rob wants to answer this today. All right. Rob, last show's trivia question was, Andre Drummond had his 45th 2020 career game, third most post-merger. So you got the second most was Dwight Howard. Who had the most 2020 games post-merger? And I said he played. Did you look it up, dude? You looked it up. Yeah, that was way too fast. So Rob got it, which means he looked it up. Oh, you didn't? Moses Malone. Good call then, dude. All right. Today's trivia question. I said Tiki Barber is one of three players with 10,000 rushing yards and over 5,000 receiving yards in a career. One of three. Who are the other two? Who are the other two? They're both in the Hall of Fame. Who are the other two players who have at least 10,000 rushing yards in a career and over 5,000 receiving yards in a career? Two others. They're both in the Hall of Fame. Right? Yeah. Well, yes. They're both in the Hall of Fame. Yes. Both in the Hall of Fame. You have any answers, Rob? Let me see. You guys have any answers? Yeah, Rob. I guess Rob must be busy. Yes, they both are in the Hall of Fame. Both Hall of Famers, so they are both done playing. And yeah, that's that. So I want to thank. Hey, Tony Valenti didn't talk. Ernie came on. Marshall Falk. Yes, that is one. Who's the other? Dun, dun, dun. You got one. Who's the other? Dude, did you look it up? That seemed really too easy. Really? Really? He says no. Just seemed very fast. It is so he got it right. It is Marshall Falk, which is, let's see stats. Marcus Allen, 12,243. 12,243 rushing yards, 5,411 receiving. Marshall Falk at 12,279 had 6,875 receiving. Those are pretty goddamn good numbers. So, Rob, you are fantastic. It just seemed you answered very fast. So, thank you today. Send my love to Michigan. My mom, Mrs. S. Carol and Carol. Fallon, I'm glad you're feeling better. Darlene, feel better. Who else did I talk to yesterday? Well, Company of Jace, thank you for blowing me off for the Pinstripe Bowl. It hurts. But, Josh does have Daddy-Daughter Day, which I appreciate very much. And it's a slow week anyway. So it's kind of crappy out, and I was going to go to the Apple Store, and I don't know if maybe I'll run out and go to the Apple Store real quick. I found this phone on the floor, and I wanted to give it back, but I wonder if I get some money for it, or just see if they can get back to the person. I've had it forever, and I just want to get out of the house. So, yeah, I think I'm going to get out of the house for a couple minutes. All right, guys, have a great day. Show tomorrow, I think. This weekend's going to be kind of rough because I'll be in Jersey. But I should be doing, maybe I'll do some quick shows. Maybe you guys want to come on. We'll do a quick show this weekend. All right. Peace out, everybody. Have a good day. Adios. Have a great one. You too. You too, Bubba. You too. Thank you, Rob. You're always great. And I'm glad you didn't take a load management day. It would hurt. It would hurt a lot.